comments, and the winner in the selection was from Egypt, Dr. Ghanem. We meet him for the first time here today. I'm sure there will be many other opportunities to get together also in the future. Thank you. Stan.
Bonjour. I want to thank Professor Sergio and Professor Matteo for the great invitation for the board to share in our society, French Society of Phlebology. My talk, I speak about the sclerotherapy along the decades. Simply, the story didn't start yet, but started 1,000 years ago with the Egyptian medical papyrus, the first medical paper who described varicosity as serpentine tubes with blowouts. And then Hippocrates was the first one who tried to do sclerotherapy by puncturing the veins, and so induction of the inflammation and obliteration. And we cannot forget the genius, Leonardo da Vinci, was the first one described the anatomical landmarks of the varicosity, very similar to what we taught nowadays in our medical schools. The initial trials were very primary and odd even. Why? Because simply they cannot navigate inside the blood vessels, and the material could be injected prevascularly. And so they were sure, ineffective, and primary. The real start for sclerotherapy by invention of the hypodermic needle. So in early 1850s, we can introduce any material or medication inside the blood vessels. And the chemicals, many of them tried, but many of them may be toxic or ineffective till the breakthrough of detection of sodium, STS, sodium tetradecyl sulfate, and polydecanol. Now we have real effective and safe materials. Seldinger is the father of the endovascular procedures, and Seldinger technique is the father of all techniques of endovascular. By this way, whatever the device, whatever the complexity, whatever the material, we can do endovascular procedure. The ultrasound is another milestone in our way. By this way, for the first time, we can trace the medication very clearly, and so the procedure becomes safer, objective, and effective. And the first ultrasound-guided sclerotherapy procedure done here in Paris in 1984. Mixing techniques developed many times. In 1944, Orbach introduces air block technique by injection of the air followed by the material. And in 1995, carbon dioxide could be used as a microfoam producing technique, but unfortunately disintegrated very quickly till detection of this widely used tertiary technique by mixing with the air to be safe and effective methodology. Sclerotherapy could be used nowadays in everything. Tranquil varicosity, that telangiectasia, incompetent perforators, venous malformation, lymphatic malformation, and could be mixed with other techniques like laser radiofrequency or even mechanical to get better results. But we still need more evidence regarding the chemicals, regarding the techniques, regarding the concentrations of chemicals, regarding the devices and the efficacy, especially the long-term outcome. Thank you so much.
Thank you. With this, we welcome you on stage for the first time in a viewing session. I'm sure there will be other, because this is a part of NENA project, as it has been called by Professor Zaza Lazarashvili, Near East and North Africa together. So we have Professor Lazarashvili himself commenting.
Dr. Ghanem, congratulations, because it's an amazing ability to bring together the history, the opportunities, and the challenges of this topic. My question is more global and regarding the standards of practice. We have the lack of standards of practice for today in many fields of phlebology, and particularly in this topic also. For example, we mean the treatment method of ultrasound-guided foam sclerotherapy of the saphenous vein, but have not clarified, is it direct puncture, is it short introducer, or with the catheter, directed. And you know that the results are absolutely significantly different, long-term results. What do you think about how you can comment on this situation?
Yes, we have now an evidence, the European guidelines, they did the guidelines especially on the polydocanol and STS. And they said that you can use even one puncture at the grease saphenous vein, but I feel that if we cannot mix the sclerotherapy with other techniques like mechanical, the long-term outcome and even the short-term outcome could be inferior. And you need to understand, and the patient, he needs to understand that you need to make more than one session. So how can we overcome this obstacle? I think that we need more than one puncture. This means multiple punctures over the course of the grease saphenous vein, because all of us know that sclerotherapy has zone 1, zone 2, and zone 3 effect. Zone 1 is the most effect, then become reduced till no effect as a zone 3 or the most distant one. So multiple puncture could ensure the homogeneous distribution of the chemical, and so increase the efficacy of the sclerotherapy. Or you could mix it with another technique like mechanical. The second thing we need to do a clear protocol for ultrasound follow-up post-operative, as the vascular surgeon did in the EVAR antivar. We can do that also in the varicosity. Could not be let to do it subjectively. This means we need to do ultrasound after 1 month and 6 months and after 1 year to be sure what is the real effectiveness and avoid missing any patent or under-treated grease saphenous vein varicosity. So one puncture is not enough, and multiple punctures or with other techniques to be mixed, or need to introduce another chemicals or with another mixing techniques to improve the results of direct puncture of varicosity.
Thank you. Now we move on the way to Egypt again, because this is Near East, North Africa. So from North Africa, Professor Ayman Fakri, if you can play the video with a quick comment.
I can talk, if you like, I can do it live.
Fantastic. Welcome, Ayman. Waiting for you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Sergio. I'm very pleased to join the French Society for the first time in my life and go for this great session. Thank you, Sergio. And I'd like to thank your friend from Egypt for his nice topic and good presentation. Today I am talking from Luxor, where the Ibris virus was written more than 4,000 years ago. My question and comment regarding the use of sclerosants. We have two main categories of sclerosant, the detergent and non-detergent. This for making foam, and this is used for liquid. That may show we don't have an ideal sclerosant agent. I may ask, are we need a real demand for specification for each type of sclerosing material, and when we use such a sclerosing agent for such a patient? I want to hear your comment about that. Do you still think we have to go for further studies and guidelines to specify the specific sclerosant for specific varicose veins?
Thank you, Professor Ayman. And I want to say we have evidence also about the sclerosant that could be used. The European guidelines done on the STS and the polydocanol. And they are, because they are effective and mostly safe, and the serious complication may be very rare or isolated cases. The two detergent sclerosant. We have other sclerosant like ethanol aminoleate, but all of us know it is very painful and has serious complication. And we have a very maybe potent but aggressive sclerosant like alcohol. But I think it's not wise to use alcohol with this massive serious complications for what's called, we can say, relatively innocent pathology in comparison to venous malformation, lymphatic malformation, and EVMs. There is no standardized guidelines except for STS and polydecanol, and generally there is no standardized guidelines for the material that could be used. But I think that alcohol, for example, could be, and the pleomycin and like that, and the chemotherapeutics and alcohol could be saved for the more aggressive pathologies like lymphatic malformation, venous malformation, and EVMs. While this quite innocent varicose veins need to be sticky to more effective and more safe materials which are available now, like STS, polydecanol, or even glycerol in some countries. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Amit. Thank you very much for your intervention. And now we have to yes, it's the last part of the VWIN session. Just a few minutes to finish this session with the honorary final remarks, and I want to introduce Joseph Caprini. I think that all people in this room know Joseph Caprini. In France, we really know Joseph Caprini by the score of Caprini. But Joseph Caprini is a very famous person, a vascular surgeon, an American vascular surgeon. And so, please, you can launch the video, please.